knock off lawmakers who did not vote their way, which is how incumbent Republicans Bob Ramsey and Terry Lynn Weaver found themselves targeted 2 years ago.
The way my election was, how it was played out and how I lost, epitomizes and is an example of the very recording that you have.
Weaver was among those Republicans who in 2019 refused to bow to pressure to vote for school vouchers. And like these ads taken out against Bob Ramsey, Weaver also faced attacks from school privatization forces for supposedly being a corrupt career politician, attacks funded by so-called dark money.
Tremendous amounts of money, much of which is outside money. Money was not from my district. They slander you. They use tactics, they want to win, and they'll do anything to do it to win.
It's the absolute destruction of people.
Is there anyone on the public education side of the debate playing this sort of hardball politics?
None that I know of. I know of nobody playing that.
We can give parents choice and support public schools at the same time.
Now pro-voucher forces hope that after years of planning, their time has finally come. So as people vote this session on vouchers, do you think they're going to be voting out of principle or out of fear?
Fear?
It's a debate that this longtime conservative believes will speak volumes about the state of our democracy.
You're bending the will of the citizens of the state to acquiesce to a bunch of wealthy people. Our founding fathers are rolling over in their grave.
Now, 4 days ago, we provided Mr. Gill with excerpts of the recording that we plan to use in this report. And finally, this afternoon, after he consulted with the American Federation for Children, we got a response where he defended such strategy sessions as places that are, quote, loud and unfiltered, where passionate people can put forth their best and worst ideas without reservation. And in his statement, Mr. Gill also claims that he has not been involved in the school choice movement for 8 years. Still, this notion of public hangings, that's the strategy that we've seen in recent years.
Yeah. Unfiltered is an understatement.
Absolutely.
What we just heard, and I can assume that you're going to be following this one closely through the session.
Definitely, and we are already getting new leads.
We'll stay tuned. Thank you, Phil.
We do have some breaking news at this hour to bring you. We just got our hands on body camera footage showing the moments Lebanon police caught 2 inmates who escaped the Sumner County Jail. Kenneth Campbell and William Rutherford were on the run for about a day and a half. They were caught outside a Dollar General in Lebanon Saturday morning. Campbell needed some medical attention.
I'm just so hurt because I'm not even...
Where are you hurt?
Everywhere.
Right.
It was the razor wire that got me.
Okay.
The razor wire got him. A 3rd inmate is also accused of escaping the jail on Thursday night, but he was captured within just a few hours.
A significant shift in the case of Sebastian Rogers, the missing autistic 15-year-old. It's a case we have followed closely since he disappeared.
We care what happens next, just like you. And now 1 week after Sebastian vanished from his Sumner County home, authorities are scaling back the search effort, and they are now calling it an investigation.
Nick Barra shares the latest details, and we also hear for the first time publicly today from the missing teen's mother and stepfather.
The original thinking was that Sebastian Rogers left home on his own, but the fact that he disappeared without a trace now has authorities looking into the very real possibility of foul play. Consider 7 days of intense searching from the ground and air. Hundreds of officers and citizens, bloodhounds, and nothing. No security video of the teen and no trace of Sebastian.
We're used to producing, and this is one of those cases that we haven't been able to produce yet.
No one is giving up. Sebastian could still be alive somewhere, alone, hurt, lost, or trapped. The search effort will continue, but...
we're scaling it back a little bit.
What exactly does that mean? Well, sources close to the case confirm authorities are now considering foul play and that this missing teen case could become a criminal investigation. Sebastian's mother and stepfather broke their silence, talking about how he disappeared from their home overnight a week ago Sunday. The two spoke on a YouTube podcast called Missing Tennessee with Duchess.
And when I went to wake him up for school, he wasn't here.
between the hours of, 12 and 6, he has basically vanished. Walked out of the house, the door was locked and gone.
He didn't take a phone. None of his shoes are missing.
Authorities have named no suspects and say that to date, the parents have fully cooperated with the investigation. Detectives now will re-interview and vet everyone that had contact with Sebastian, looking for any inconsistencies. And they are asking the public to provide any Ring camera videos, not just from Sunday night when they believe he disappeared, but of anything suspicious of much earlier in the day. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
We're going to stay on this one. With billboards and smartphone alerts, the Amber Alert surrounding Sebastian is front and center. I also wanted to know about the status of other cases on missing children in Tennessee. I found that including Sebastian, the TBI has 6 active Amber Alerts, and the oldest one is more than a decade old. I have information on all 6 of those, as well as photos of these children. We hope that you will share them. They're at newschannel5.com.
All right, happening right now, this is a live look at Capitol Hill, the Tennessee House, which gavelled in 2 hours ago with plans to debate a controversial piece of legislation linked to the Tyre Nichols case out of Memphis. This is one we have been following closely. And that's because it's a measure that would cancel a public safety policy created in honor of Tyre Nichols, who was fatally injured during a police traffic stop. 2
Memphis Republicans in the state house want to prohibit local governments from limiting police powers after people fought for reform. If House Bill 1931 passes, any policies that don't allow law enforcement to act in their fullest capacity are in jeopardy. In January of 2023, Tyre Nichols was violently beaten by police. You just can't forget this video. Memphis leaders passed a measure ending police stops for minor low-level infractions in the city. Nichols' parents are enraged by the bill that would void the local policy.
Memphis is a majority black city, and for a Republican to come in and say that regardless to what we're trying to do and accomplish, that he can come in and wipe out all the hard work that Amber and Justin Pearson have done. I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
All right, now this late word, we've learned this measure was rolled tonight, meaning the official vote's been postponed with no decision yet. Of course, we'll keep you updated.
If your child is in elementary school like mine are, more changes could be on the way, and it all surrounds the controversial 3rd grade retention law. We have been covering the ongoing changes and the impact of this proposal that allows 3rd and 4th grade students to be held back based on their reading scores on the spring TCAP test. A special called meeting was held today with the school board now asking the legislature to do that much sooner, as early as kindergarten up to the 3rd grade.
What we want to do is provide the supports to help students learn to read at the earliest time that we can. And by 3rd and 4th grade, really we're at that point, I wouldn't say it's too late, but it's later than we should be providing those supports.
It is not clear right now if lawmakers will want to change the current state law to figure out how this might affect your child. You can find more under this story at newschannel5.com. The way we get our news is evolving faster now than ever before. But after speaking to the next generation of journalists, I think we're in pretty good hands. These are photos from this morning's Tennessee High School Press Association Awards out at Lipscomb University. I was proud to serve as the keynote speaker for this event. About 200 students from all across the state were recognized for their work in several mediums: newspaper, television, yearbook, literary magazine, you name it. They are doing it, and at a level that we have not seen before. And they had great questions, too, about how AI will impact journalism. They're right on the cutting edge.
Yeah, they're ahead of me.
I know. Right? We got to catch up.
It is amazing. Good luck to them.
Congrats to them as well.
Still ahead here at 6, lots of excitement surrounding the new Titans Stadium, but there are questions now about all the money involved.
It's your tax dollars, so you should know how they're spent. Why some people want to keep that hidden.
Plus, the pandemic pinch easing a bit, inflation slowing, but not at the grocery store. We hear from frustrated local shoppers.
And now dogs are helping elementary school kids get even better at reading.
Upper 70s today, but that's set to change tomorrow. A look at the forecast is coming up on News Channel 5 at 6.
We all work hard for our paychecks. So for a lot of us, it's important to know how our tax dollars are spent.
But a major state department wants to pick which documents and expenses that you see and which ones you don't. News Channel 5's Chris Davis shows us the controversial reason why.
The ground wasn't even broken on the new Titan Stadium before we heard this.
I'm excited about the possibility of a Super Bowl.
It's been said on Tennessee's Capitol Hill, too.
This could help us get the Super Bowl.
But in order to land the Super Bowl of all things, there's a lot of wheeling, dealing, and negotiations that happen behind the scenes. In fact, when Minneapolis hosted their most recent Super Bowl, they reported situations like offering the NFL free golfing outings, parking, luxury accommodations, even huge billboards. So to land that big contract and others like it, state leaders want to make a big rule change.
We're literally talking about events that are in 2030, 2031, 2032.
Tennessee's Commissioner of Tourism, Mark Ezell, is asking Tennessee lawmakers to give him and the Attorney General the authority to declare which of his office's documents should be made available to the public and which ones they can seal for up to 10 years.
The public has a right to know how taxpayer money is spent.
Deborah Fisher of the Tennessee Coalition for Open Government is fine with confidential negotiation information being under seal. But once the deal is done, she thinks the information should be public.
It's a long time after an event happens.
And she's worried there's a loophole in this bill that could ensure some documents are never released.
If something has only a 6-year retention requirement, it could be destroyed before the 10 years are up, so nobody would ever know.
Lawmakers had questions about that, too.
But I wouldn't want the records to be destroyed in the normal course of business, as he said, and then they'll not be available to the public when the time comes.
Yeah, we wouldn't either. And what we would tell you is we wouldn't be trying to protect something if the negotiation process had been disclosed and done.
Commissioner Ezell may claim that would never be their intention, but Fisher isn't sure if getting the big game is worth such a big risk.
It opens the door for bad things to happen. Cronyism, corruption.
Chris Davis, News Channel 5.
Thanks, Chris. While other states like Texas and Florida have public record exemptions for tourism, those exemptions end as soon as the deals are negotiated.
The woman behind an alleged illegal daycare where an infant was found dead now faces new charges. This is a story that we have stayed on top of for nearly a year. Metro Police say when Ann Jordan discovered a 3-month-old boy had died in her care, she took off, leaving the 7 children alone at her Bellevue apartment. An autopsy was unable to determine the cause of death for the baby. Jordan was originally charged with just child neglect, but is now facing aggravated child abuse, aggravated child endangerment, and more.
Well, it's like whack-a-mole on our roads these days. Crews fill up one pothole and more open right back up. But today we heard from TDOT, which says crews are busy and they use more than double the amount of mix over the past 2 months compared to the same time last year. TDOT says it's using all resources, including hiring contract crews to try to get the roads fixed up as fast as possible. They also acknowledge full-scale paving might be necessary in some areas, so more permanent repairs are expected coming up in the spring and early summer. You can report potholes. There's a hotline to call. It's 833-TDOT-FIX.
While inflation has shown signs of cooling, there are still some areas of the economy with climbing expenses, like the price of groceries. Reports show we are spending more of our income on groceries than ever before. So is there any relief in sight? Our Kelsey Gibbs spoke with some shoppers who remain hopeful, but they'll believe it when they see it.
I do like cereal, but I haven't bought a name brand cereal in quite a while.
If you've been to the grocery store lately, you probably have found yourself cutting back on some of your favorite items.
I can't justify $17 for one steak. So that's the only thing that I've really cut back on is beef.
By the end of 2023, shoppers were paying nearly 20% more for the same basket of groceries as they were in 2021. This according to the latest data from the Consumer Price Index.
Man, I feel sick. I don't like spend money. I'm like, if it's on food, it's okay, but it don't make sense how much everything just costs nowadays.
Despite inflation slowing down, food prices continue to increase, leading to Americans spending the largest percentage of their income on food than they have in 30 years.
Like they say inflation supposed to be going down, but I can't tell.
But some shoppers say they have to shop around for a good deal.
Yeah, I like Compton's. They have everything I need, and they're very kind and gracious in there.
Compton's Foodland is an independent grocery store.
We are extremely fortunate being an independent, or as we like to say, a mom and pop. And this store being here since 1985.
Inflation is sitting at 2.8% this month, which is lower than 3.2% last month. It's slowing down, and store manager John Carpenter believes prices of groceries will begin to stabilize this year.
The product is becoming more available, more prevalent, which in turn allows manufacturers to offer promotional deals to independents like ourselves, and then we can then take that and pass that along to the consumer in the form of lower prices.
Carpenter says the store already offers many deals. He says he can't wait until they can offer their shoppers even more. In Nashville, Kelsey Gibbs, News Channel 5.
Another hit to the wallet, restaurants where prices have increased more than 5%.
All right, beautiful way to start the work week. And that's about it.
Yeah, we're just going to leave it at that.
There.
Yeah, today was the pick day of the week. A little bit of unsettled pattern this week. Temperatures, when I say cooler, let me clarify. We are not dipping into like the 40s and 50s.
That's good.
It's still going to be a little above average, just no 70s for several days. It is early March. We have been running on the mild side. We're still going to run mild, just not as beautiful as today. Live look outside right now from Sky Cam. That's high atop 333 Commerce as we look from the Batman building off towards the west and the Cumberland River there in the horizon. 70 degrees. 78 was our high, 56 our low. No rain in the gauge today. Live look on Lower Broadway from our Acme Feed and Seed Skynet site. 71 currently. We made it to 77 today on Lower Broadway. Made it to 79 in Clarksville. 71 the current temperature. F&M Bank Arena tomorrow night. Austin P, the first round, I believe, of the A-Sun tournament happening there. Hopefully they get the win. And there's a scenario they could end up playing again Thursday if they get the win tomorrow and someone has to lose for another playoff game at home or tournament game at home. But still, just keep that in mind if you look for something to do. Hopkinsville right now, it's quiet looking along 9th and Bethel there. 71 degrees our temperature. A lot of 70s, some upper 60s, very mild. We've got the clouds out there. If you want to get that walk or run or bike ride in after dinner, 70 degrees at 7, 67 at 8, and 66 degrees by 9. We'll bottom out at 58 tonight, all right? Not very cold. In fact, that's around the typical high for this time of year. Clouds are going to continue to move in tonight. And as you wake up tomorrow, you could be waking up to some showers and thunderstorms in the area. Not looking for anything severe, but it will likely impact the morning commute for some. So kids will need the rain gear as they head to school. You'll need it heading to work. And then still some off and on shower and thunderstorm chances through midday, continuing into your Tuesday evening and into Tuesday night as well. We'll probably see a few lingering showers into early Wednesday, then dry by Wednesday afternoon and Thursday. Another system moves in Friday. So over the next week, we'll probably see 1 to 2 inches of rain added to the soil of Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky, which will certainly help out given the still in the dry category there on the drought monitor in some spots. 68, that will be the high on Tuesday. Showers, thunderstorms, scattered in nature, again, not severe. Then the chance of a few early morning showers will start in the 50s Wednesday, climb to 66, 46 by Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and 69 degrees come Thursday. Hey, I do want to point out this weekend, daylight saving time begins. So what does that mean? We spring forward. You get that hour. Set the clocks ahead 1 hour before you go to bed if they don't auto set. Sunset will be close to 7 p.m. by next Sunday. It's always a good time to check the batteries and the smoke detectors as well. By next Sunday, sunrise will be at 7:04. It will set at 6:50 p.m. We'll have much more to come here on News Channel 5 at 6.
Storm 5 Titan puts the power of 5 meteorologists on wheels. Sponsored by Premier Generators.
Staff at one mid-state school say the visits they get for some very special guests are nothing short of beautiful.
And we think you're going to like these guests too. News Channel 5's Forrest Sanders heads to Murfreesboro for this story.
School counselor for Northfield Elementary, Heather Eskridge, is always looking for solutions to the sort of self-confidence issues she sees in children.
We will see children who are reluctant readers, who won't read in front of peers. Maybe they have dyslexia or learning disorder.
Well, this morning, there are some guests looking to help who are just about to head in.
They truly have become part of our school family.
Meet the team. That's Lucas, General, and Phoebe. Hey, Phoebe. They're headed in for a job that requires just a little listening.
I cut in line every time.
That's 10-year-old Emery.
Know why? Because I'm a bad seed.
That's 9-year-old Bennett.
Since we don't know what's going to happen in the future, maybe we just enjoy the now.
They're reading to Phoebe, and for her part, Phoebe
your beak stuck in
is happy to give a little encouragement. Phoebe's part of a therapy ARC K9 team in the Reading Pause program.
That promotes reading in a way that anxiety levels are much lower.
That's Forrest Reynolds, Tennessee Veterinary Medical Foundation president. The foundation has just given a grant allowing 13 of these teams to get the training and go into Middle Tennessee school districts to help kids read.
It feels good to have an audience who appreciates when you're reading them a story.
It's magical.
She's honestly a very helpful dog.
And the kids definitely don't mind the lint rolling or any surprise dog kisses.
I didn't mind it. I just kept reading. She's a very sweet dog.
The unconditional love and acceptance, the loyalty of a dog, it promotes learning in a way that is a real gift.
Phoebe's ready for another story.
She got big ears. Listen to everything. Oh, hi.
Hey, Phoebe. I'm Forrest Sanders, News Channel 5.
I love dog kisses.
Sloppy kisses.
Yeah, Phoebe's got them.
Oh, that's so great. If you'd like to learn more about a Reading Pause team, perhaps visiting your school, we'll have contact information on newschannel5.com.
I can only imagine all the, excitement when the dogs come in from the kids. They're ready to read.